Good morning. Once a month, I assist one of our local priests for the TV Mass, and he's asked if I would be the lector and cantor for that celebration so that when it's televised, we can make sure that those who are homebound are part of the community and enjoy the celebration of the liturgy of the Eucharist. So this last Wednesday, we were doing the readings for the second Sunday of Easter. Now, obviously, we are filming ahead of time in order for this to be ready on the appropriate Sunday. And in the intentions, Father mentioned the blessing of those who had been received into the church through the catechumenate. And it struck me, these people are still in formation at this moment, but we were praying in gratitude for their baptism and their membership in our community. We were thanking God, so to speak, for something that had happened that really hadn't happened yet. It was amazing to me. And it struck me that this is what it means to be a person of faith, that we thank God ahead of time, that we pray in confidence, knowing that our prayers are answered. We pray with the knowledge that yes, God hears the prayer, and yes, God has answered. The gospel reading for this particular Sunday was a reading where Jesus walks through the walls into the upper room and encounters his disciples who are hiding. Those who they're scared. They have been, whether they were at the foot of the cross or whether they were absent from the foot of the cross, they are frightened. And Jesus, they are afraid, will call them into account. And there is Thomas saying, after he was not present, that it's only when I put my finger into the holes in his hands and my hand into the side of Jesus that I will believe that Jesus is actually resurrected and is no longer dead. And it struck me how hard it is to be a person of faith and a person of prayer. In our world, we want proof. We need evidence that God has come through, that God will come through, and we bring every ounce of our skepticism into the relationship that we have with the divine. I wonder how many times God rolls God's eyes, going, again? Come on, I've got a pretty good track record with you. But if we think about the proof that Thomas demanded from the risen Christ, and we apply it to ourselves, often we may say, well, I would never do that. I would believe that Jesus was really there, an answer to prayer. And this is where I think a challenge to us lies. How would we actually respond if we are uncertain that Jesus is going to answer our prayer? Would we demand proof? Would we somehow doubt the credibility of this God? We have prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed for the same intention, and God has not come through. And in some ways, we are like Thomas, who says, really, in order to get the exact answer that I want, I need to put my finger into the wounds in your hands, and my hand into the wounds in your side. This is such an appropriate reflection for us. On one hand, we pray in gratitude for what we know will happen. And on the other hand, we wrestle with our humanity. Will it happen? Has it happened? Am I saying the right prayers? Am I saying them in the right order? Do I begin with the sign that we have so many conditions? Wondering if those are the conditions of God. And if Jesus will only answer our questions if we continue to do them in the right way. So, in this week to come, let's reflect on what kind of credibility Christ has with us. Is Jesus trustworthy? Do I believe that Jesus will actually answer my prayers? Or can I pray in confidence that God has?